I don't know what it is. The tagline is just simply that he crossed the line. I have no idea, Anubis. I do not know. I've actually not, for my own sanity, I've not been tracking what he has been doing for the last several days for the benefit of my own sanity. So, I'm curious what happened that is so beyond the pale that it's considered he crossed the line. Well, Matt, that's my question. That is my question. Let's find out, chat. Let's do this.
Welcome back to your daily dose of drama news. In today's video, Hasan continues to slander Ethan Klein. Asmongold calls out Hasan for playing defense for terrorist orgs. Another terrorist attack has taken place in Boulder, Colorado, and it was a guy setting people on fire with Molotovs, yelling "Free Palestine." Turns out when you don't condemn terrorists and instead you support and praise them, people actually think terrorism is okay. Hasan is probably doing the boogie down challenge as we speak, throwing a little party, doing the Fortnite L dance, finding 1,001 ways to play defense for this scumbag piece of shit. In other news, boxing commentator Wade Clemens has called out iDubbbz, saying he was working for free, thinking it was a charity event. Local jellyfish Ludwig has responded to my video on his stream. Anyway, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel so we can stop Hamas, Diddy, Piker, and...
Alright, so going in, didn't know I was going to talk about this, but apparently is. Just so you know, chat, there was an attack in Boulder, Colorado. I don't know if Pegasus is going to dive deep into the occurrence of it. It is a 22-minute video, so he might. Just so you know, there was an attack, basically on some demonstrators, that were advocating for, well, I don't think it's I don't know about again. There was a demonstration advocating for the release of hostages in Boulder, Colorado. There was a group of people. I'm not even sure how big the group was. I got the impression that the group of demonstrators was actually quite small, and they were just advocating for the release of hostages in Gaza. Okay, and this guy rolls up with like spray bottles of like kerosene or somebody and started setting people on fire. And when he was doing it, he was screaming "Free Palestine." So I am going to ask you guys, like, this is going to be no pun intended here. Yeah, yes, Moss, exactly. It was peaceful, and they were advocating for the release of hostages. They were not advocating for any violence. They were simply advocating for the release of hostages. So it was a peaceful, and like, that's it. Yeah, it was a weekly walk or run in support of releasing of those hostages. And this guy comes up and starts Molotov cocktailing and everything else. When we get into that part of the video, I'm going to ask you guys to just... I know it's no pun intended here. It is a very inflammatory topic. Keep your cool. Okay? Just keep your cool about it. The guy's been arrested. So I appreciate that it's going to be a very emotionally charged thing. Keep your heads, guys. Okay? Just keep your heads.
Friends from brainwashing people, and let's begin with Hasan crying about Ethan. Hasan says that Ethan and Hila are gross propagandists.
I'll pull it up
for fuck's sake.
It's really crazy how Hasan just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh my god. Oh, they're so gross, dude. They're such disgusting genocidal propagandists. Oh my god.
No. Fucking whoa. Sold the fucker. What did he just say? Hold up.
Disgusting. Oh, they're so gross, dude. They're such disgusting genocidal propagandists. Oh my god. Oh, it's crazy.
Really? Fucking really? You're gonna call them genocidal propagandists, motherfucker, you platform terrorists, that the only thing they do is the only thing they want is genocide. Motherfucker. The Houthis that you blast their recruitment videos for and platform them on your channel, the only thing they want is genocide. They want to eradicate the entire Israeli people. They want them nuked from fucking history. And they're not gonna stop there once that happens either. So fuck you, you little pissant. Go look in a goddamn mirror and hope that it doesn't shatter into a million pieces when you do. Because that's exactly what you want, Hasan. That is what you advocate for. On a daily goddamn basis. You advocate for genocide, you fucking hypocrite.
Crazy how Hasan doesn't want us to help the Palestinians. Wait, did she even say Palestinians? Hold on, maybe she did.
It's really crazy how Hasan, like, just doesn't want us to help Gazans.
Oh, she didn't even say Palestinians. She said Gazans.
Okay, bro can't even hear the clip correctly. We talked.
Yeah, it help people that are in the area of Gaza. Okay, broad statement. The people in Gaza. Last I checked, Palestinians live in Gaza, and more than just the Palestinians live in Gaza. So they were talking about helping literally fucking everyone that lives in Gaza. Okay? If you have a problem with this, then you're a fucking moron, and you're proving yourself even more of a hypocrite. Fuck off, asshole.
Talked about this in one of the previous episodes where Hasan will literally just hear whatever he wants and whatever makes him the most mad.
Ethan talks about Jewish heritage in the Middle East. Hasan then ignores that and argues against something Ethan didn't even say.
Hasan attempts to deny Jewish heritage in the Middle East. It characterizes them not as indigenous, but as white colonizers. This is
the Israeli heritage in the Middle East is now tarnished by, well, first of all, Israeli heritage in the Middle East. What the f is Israeli heritage in the Middle East? That doesn't exist. Shut the f up.
He didn't say.
What? I'm sorry, what? Where in the fuck do you think they came from, asshat? Seriously, where the fuck do you think they even came from in the first place? For the love of brain-dead morons around the world, where the fuck did you come up with that fairy tale? Seriously, I need to know where the fuck he just came up with that fucking fairy tale that their origins do not exist in the Middle East. Like, seriously. Hasan, listen, Hasan, I know you're a little rich boy that has coasted off of your family's money for years, and that's why you stream, because you don't actually have any marketable life skills. You're just a pathetic little whiny bitch rich boy. Even you can fucking Google shit. Okay? You're literally sitting in a computer all day fucking long, slapping your gums and talking out of your ass for God knows how many hours a day that you stream. You're at a computer. Literally open the browser, go to Google, and literally type up, where do the Israeli people originate from? It'll be the first fucking entry. Okay? Go fuck yourself if you are just that fucking lazy. You cannot even do a Google search. The fact that you cannot even do a basic fucking Google search for something kills your whole fucking argument. It means you do not know a fucking thing you're talking about. You're too lazy to do any research on it whatsoever, and you're scamming. You are fucking scamming your whole audience, and that's his whole platform. His whole platform is scamming on the uneducated or the undereducated who basically just want someone to think for them. They don't go to his stream to actually engage with someone to provide them with intellectual discourse. They go there because they want someone to think for them, and they go, okay, Hasan says we should hate these people because of this reason. I'm not going to do any research or think for myself. I will just raise the flag and wave it proudly. Oh, that's fucking Hasan's stream. That's Hasan's audience. They don't have a fucking brain to share between them.
Say Israeli heritage. He said Jewish heritage.
It's kind of irrelevant what you even say because this guy will just cook up something in his head and get mad over it. Also, how ironic, Hasan calling Ethan a genocidal propagandist. Buddy, you just described yourself. You literally support the terrorist organizations that want precisely that. Their whole stated mission is to eliminate the Jews, and you support them. Also, may I point out that he has admitted that he is a propagandist on several occasions.
Just like I do propaganda.
I'm a propagandist.
For
the record.
So the phrase
No, hang on.
several occasions.
Just like I do propaganda.
I'm a propagandist. For the record.
So the phrase genocidal propagandist is
Congratulations. You played yourself. You fucking, not that this is a shock to anybody. You played yourself. For the record, Mr. Piker, you're a propagandist. A self-admitted propagandist. It'll look great in a lawsuit, because yes, I know Nux has filed a lawsuit, or he's going to file a lawsuit. Supposedly. Supposedly. I don't even know what it's about, but maybe we'll hear about it in this.
something that fits Hasan way more than it fits Ethan. Anyways, this next part, Asmongold reacts to the ADL trying to deplatform Hasan.
Hasan Piker. So the ADL says when you openly support a murderous, anti-Semitic, U.S.-designated terrorist org calling for violence against all Jews, you minimize our fear and grief and embolden extremists. Now is the time for Twitch, YouTube, and X and all of the other social media platforms to decide if their platforms or spaces to allow someone like Piker to spew hatred and pro-terrorist propaganda. The time to act is now. So
before Asmon gets into this, and I'm sure he's going to make some excellent points on this, I'm going to simply point out, on Twitch, on YouTube, and on X, on all three platforms, it is in their TOS that you are not allowed to support terrorism or terrorist activities. You are not allowed to support it. It's in the TOS. Literally, we are just asking these platforms to properly enforce their TOS. That's it. We're not infringing upon anybody's freedom of speech. We are not asking them to do anything outside of what they have already established as their own terms of service. Okay? If Twitch is going to basically jerk themselves off to banning VTubers who show hips, then you know what, Twitch? Follow your own goddamn TOS and nuke the channels that are outright supporting terrorism. Where's the fair TOS enforcement, Twitch? Where's the fair TOS enforcement? You have an option. You can either start fairly enforcing your TOS as you yourselves have written it, and fucking nuke Hasan off the platform as he should have been a long fucking time ago for supporting terrorists in accordance with your own TOS, or let your entire platform sink. No, Anubis, Hasan doesn't make Twitch too much money. No, he doesn't. I would argue that he is far from making Twitch too much money. VTubers are making Twitch more money than Hasan is. Okay? VTubers and other streamers, other facecam streamers, are making Twitch far more fucking money than Hasan is. It will cost Twitch, Twitch will gain money by booting off Hasan and those in his circle that continue to support terrorism. Twitch will actually start heading towards a net positive by booting Hasan off the platform. They will. Okay? He's not getting any ad revenue, okay? Because Hasan is a political streamer, he gets no ad revenue. Ads are not shown on his stream because he is listed as a political streamer and no one is putting ads on his stream. So he's getting no ad revenue. He's getting bits, maybe, and he's getting subs, maybe. VTubers and other facecam streamers are making far fucking more for Twitch than Hasan can ever hope to make. Hasan has actually costed them money by having advertisers flee from the platform. Hasan and his group cost Twitch a sponsorship by fucking Chevron. Because of Hasan and his group, Chevron jumped ship and said, we will never deal with you again because of the shit Frogan, Dennons, and all the rest of them did at TwitchCon. Hasan and his group are actually costing Twitch money and advertisers. He is costing them money. If they get rid of all of these guys that are promoting terrorism like this, Twitch has a chance to actually get back into a net positive. A chance. But they won't do it. Because the people up at the top of Twitch, including Dan Clancy, for reasons that I don't know, love Hasan. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. But they love him for some reason. They'll do everything they can to protect him, even if it means bringing down the entire company.
Do I think this is going to go anywhere? I'm going to be honest, guys. I think yes. I think that this is a bridge too far. Trying to play PR for a terrorist organization, this will be a domino effect. I don't think that... So a lot of you guys might not understand how much average companies hear the word anti-Semitism and they just freak out. They're like, oh shit, right? Like, oh no, we don't want to have anything to do with that, right? So the moment that they hear that and this happens, it's going to be very problematic. Dan would never. I don't think it's going to be his decision. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't.
It may not.
I think that if more people start talking about this, and especially if more reputable sources start talking about this, and by the way, the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, like, I mean, the ADL, right? I mean, I don't think the ADL is that great either, but I understand that they exercise a certain power that is respected in traditional, like, mainstream media. And
well, they have a loud voice. Like there are plenty of things you can take issue with in regards to the Anti-Defamation League. There's plenty of causes that they have taken up that you can vehemently disagree with. And there's the ADL has taken up a lot of DEI causes, and you can say whatever your piece is about that. So the ADL is not a great organization, but it does have a very loud voice. And that's the key. When you start getting loud voices calling out Hasan and people and his people, more people that actually do have authority will start taking notice. Honestly, I'm more than a little surprised with how fast this is moving. I'm surprised we haven't heard about investigation yet, but I suspect that the moment law enforcement, i.e. the FBI, maybe decides, okay, we're going to start moving on this, the moment the FBI starts questioning Hasan or questioning Twitch, that's when you're going to see, that's when you might see with the people currently in power in Twitch, that's when you're going to see them go, okay, we've got to cut Day. And they might actually cut him loose. That's what's going to cause the current people playing, that are currently in power, a visit by the FBI where they're like, hi, we're conducting an investigation about you platforming terrorist sympathizers and terrorist recruitment videos. Let's have a chat. That's when Dan Clancy and all the people at the top end of Twitch are going to go, okay, we can't do this anymore. Or DHS, Kaibo. Yeah, DHS too. But FBI would also, it could be either or both. But the moment that agency starts talking to Twitch, that's when you're going to see them go, okay, we got to cut him loose. We can't do this anymore. That's what it's going to take at this point.
and mainstream circles, right?
I do believe that Hasan's downfall is coming very soon, especially with the recent terrorist attack that happened in Boulder, Colorado, right? As well as the shooter yelling Free Palestine. There is now a magnifying glass on Hasan's behavior. And you guys know that my It's Over titles are usually a joke. It's literally a meme I've been playing for like 8 months now. Sometimes it's real, you know, like Vitaly in Philippines getting prison time, and Johnny Somali definitely gonna be going to prison for a very long time. That's confirmed. But Hasan is like a special case, right? This guy has eluded responsibility for his actions for very long. He's like an armchair extremist, right? He doesn't actually go out and commit the violence himself, but the things he says are so obviously violent, so obviously praising violence. So it's a little bit harder to prosecute with this guy. But with this whole series and the massive attention around Hasan right now and all of these events happening, I feel like his day is coming because he refuses to back down. Every single time he doubles down, he plays defense for the shooters, the murderers, terrorists, and I feel like it's only a matter of time. You can't.
And I have not heard, and I am not looking to hear about what he said about the guy in Boulder. But I bet it's 10-to-1 odds minimum that he said something positive about the terrorists in Boulder. Minimum 10-to-1 odds that he said something favorable about him. I will bet you. I will bet you. Because if he tries to say, if he tries to denounce it, he's gonna piss off his audience. And like every extreme that side of the equation, the minute you don't bend the knee, kiss the ring, and drink the Kool-Aid, they will devour you. They will eat their own with the barest minimum of provocation. So I bet you he's already been praising the terrorists of Boulder. Guaranteed.
Can't consistently get away with this. And I don't care if it takes 100 videos, but this guy needs some serious karma, bro. This guy's an absolute freak. Anyways, let's talk about the recent terrorist attack in Colorado.
An attack has occurred on a pro-Israel protest in Boulder, Colorado.
All right.
Initial reports.
Chat, you see this, right? You see this. So be prepared if you want to shut the stream off. What I'm gonna do is when it comes on stream, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna pause it. I'm gonna just let it go through and I'll like speed run through it. Yeah, right. Mods, put the tag up. Okay, get the tag up right now. We can take it down after this video is done, but get that tag up, okay? Atsunashi, let me know when it's done. Thank you, Rygat. If you don't want to watch, turn off, like mute the stream and go away for like 5 minutes, okay? I'm gonna let it play through. I'm not gonna pause it during it. Just be prepared for it. I'm gonna watch it because these people deserve to have it watched because of what they went through. I'm not gonna shy away from it. Even though it's gonna hurt, I'm not gonna shy away from it because this needs to be safe.
Suggests Molotov cocktails were used, and there are multiple casualties, including children. According to the witnesses who spoke with CBS, the suspect attacked people walking to remember the Israeli hostage. This is not a protest, it's a peaceful walk to show solidarity with the hostages and their families, and a plea for their release, said Run for Their Lives, who organized the walk. I mean, it's unequivocally domestic terrorism, and anybody can see that. What happened? There was another terrorist attack from
Oh, he didn't show it. He just put that brick up to say that was what was playing in that Twitter post. Okay. All right, he just, okay, that was up there just to basically tell without showing. Good, Pegasus, thank you. Thank you.
A anti-Israel
Emperor
person
probably,
who
I don't
threw
know
Molotov
specifically.
cocktails into a peaceful protest of children and burned multiple people alive and killed them.
I didn't see anything about any fatalities. I saw 6 people injured. I did not hear about fatalities. Yeah, go ahead and leave the tag up. That's fine. They got children got hurt. Yes. Yes, and Mechanist, that is what I heard. They were injured, but there were, thanks fucking God, no fatalities. Although with burn victims, depending on how severe the burn is, it could be even worse. Like with burn victims, they could be looking at years of reconstructive surgery being needed for this. A few in critical condition area. Okay. Yeah, it was families. This fucking psychopath went after families. These are the people that Hasan is cultivating. These are people that follow the rhetoric. Someone did? I did update 12. Okay, I did. So 12 injured. I didn't hear that there was, okay. I did not hear that there was a death. I've not heard that there was a death yet. All right, let's keep going.
That's what happened.
So here we have a video of the guy who did the attack. Apparent video shows the suspect in the targeted terror attack holding Molotov cocktails.
We're here, brother. We're here. We can't do nothing about that.
He's spraying alcohol, too.
But what he did was he made it look like he was here.
He's making Molotov cocktails.
Dude, what a freaking clown. Dude has completely
What the
lost his
fuck?
mind. He thinks that setting people on fire in America is somehow
No, Emil, he was
freeing
not.
Palestine.
He was
Dude,
arrested.
honestly, how deluded can you actually be? How brain dead are these people? Anyways, these absolute idiots think that doing terrorism is somehow helping the cause. Like, how many Palestinians did you help by doing this? You absolute clown. In fact, you probably detracted from the cause, but because now people are gonna associate Free Palestine with complete terror attacks and random bullshit like this. So
They already do. They already do. At this point, because of Hasan and the people that he has spurned into action like this, anyone that uses Palestine, like anyone that uses like a tag of Free Palestine, you're instantly now going to be viewed as you are a potential terrorist. That is what this has done. That is what these freak shows and what people like Hasan who again, no pun intended, but who keep stoking the flames on this issue. They have based, now people that actually use the expression of Free Palestine are going to be viewed as potential terrorists. The minute somebody says that, people are going to look at them and go, okay, is this guy about to start attacking? Flat out. That is what this is boiled down to. That is where people like Hasan continue to stoke the fans of hatred and promote genocidal maniacs. This is what happens.
So here's the news report about it.
I'm able to confirm there are 6 victims, ages 67 to 88. All of them have been transported to local hospitals.
Okay, so this must have been updated.
A regularly scheduled weekly peaceful event. Witnesses are reporting that the subject used a makeshift flamethrower and threw an incendiary device into the crowd. The suspect was heard to yell, "Free Palestine," during the attack. The subject has been identified as Mohammed Sabri Solomon, and he's 45 years old. The FBI is processing the crime scene in the subject vehicle and interviewing key witnesses. We're assisting Boulder police in providing technical, analytic, and additional forensic resources.
Thank you, Atanashi.
As a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence.
Tornado? Wait for it. He's going to be charged with terrorism. Like he's like one of the counts is probably going to be hate crime. He's going to be charged with terrorism. Make no mistake. Because this was a terrorist attack. This was flat out a terrorist attack. This is a textbook terrorist attack. Okay? 8 injuries due to the burns. Okay, and they said that like ages of 67 plus were the ones that received burns. So I'm guessing the other injuries were probably just received injuries like falling while running or something like that.
As a result of these preliminary facts, it is clear that this is a targeted act of violence, and the FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism.
I mean, obviously it's a targeted attack. We literally...
Yeah, ammo? No. I didn't see that. Ammo? I don't give a fuck no, ammo, I don't give a fuck where it is. I don't give a fuck where it is. I don't give a fuck what country it is. When you attack innocent people like that, when you try to kill innocent people because you're a delusional fucking psychopath, I don't fucking care what country it is. You are an evil person. You should never see the light of day again. He is lucky that he didn't get about 50 rounds put into him when the police got there. Because I can guarantee you, every fucking cop that showed up on that scene was wishing he did something. And they exercised extreme restraint. Okay? Extreme restraint. Well, ammo, it's in a gun-free zone because it was near a courthouse. This wasn't like a DEI thing or something. It was near a courthouse. That's why it was a gun-free zone. Okay? Which makes perfect fucking sense because if you're right near a courthouse, yes, you don't want guys walking around toting firearms. Okay? This is not a DEI thing. Okay? Don't try and ascribe it to don't try and ascribe DEI to something where it has no bearing. I'm also bashing on DEI, but don't try and conflate it where there's nothing there. Okay, this was not like, oh, the city declared this a gun-free zone, and so people couldn't defend themselves. No, it's near a fucking courthouse. Okay? It's like, we need to keep perspective on this. Exactly, Case Wolf. Yeah. So, there you go.
Investigating this as an act of terrorism.
I mean, obviously it's a targeted attack. We literally know his beliefs now. And I feel like the FBI really needs to be on top of the shit. It's crazy how this is
They're
even
usually
allowed
inside,
to happen.
The bailiffs are usually inside and most are not armed.
This guy was online spouting some bullshit on his social media accounts. And the FBI needs to be more proactive in stopping these people committing their actual violence. Because if you're online, like you're on Twitter, and you're threatening to kill people, you know, you need to be on a list. You need to be monitored, right? That's just basic things the FBI needs to do to protect people.
They have changed the initial reporting I saw. It has gone from murder to attempted murder, so apparently no deaths. But the report I'm seeing that a Holocaust survivor was one of the victims.
That was probably like the 86-year-old person. Jesus fuck. Oh my god, to survive that and then have to go through this. I mean, Jesus fuck.
Recently, there's been this surge of people advocating open violence.
I did.
Thanks to some people, you know, some
Maybe I did.
particular Twitch streamers radicalizing the absolute shit out of regular people, you know, threatening to kill senators himself. Obviously, people are going to start thinking this type of stuff is okay because they get brainwashed by people like Hasan. Also, can I just say, throwing away your life at 45 is crazy. I mean, enjoy the rest of.
And by the way, I'm gonna say this. We don't know if this person performed these acts because he watches Hasan. We don't know this. Okay? So I am not going to say that he is a viewer of Hasan and because he watches Hasan's stream, he was driven to commit these acts. I'm not going to say that. However, Hasan and those in his circle are boosting the fuck out of this message that is causing more and more people to also boost it online through social media. And it is like, and the rhetoric is blowing up because of him. Correct. Yeah. He's the instigator, but I'm not going to say that this guy was a watcher of him, but he is without question part of the reason, a big part of the reason, because he has a loud fucking voice that reaches a lot of people, and those people that he reaches will rebroadcast it. Yeah, Davey, I did hear about that he was here, he was in the country illegally. I did hear about that.
say throwing away your life at 45 is crazy. I mean, enjoy the rest of your life in prison, you absolute loser. Also, he just looks like completely unemployed, bro.
He will not last long in prison. He will not last long in prison. The moment General Pop finds out that he tried to burn the elderly in a terrorist attack and one of them was a Holocaust survivor, I would hazard a guess that this person will not last long in general population. That he went after the elderly and children. Prisoners actually have standards. Oh, that's why I said and children. I mentioned the children. Prisoners have, despite what popular opinion might be, prisoners have a code. You don't hurt the elderly, and you damn fucking sure don't hurt kids. So good luck in General Pop fucktard after your ass gets reamed out a couple thousand times. That'll be the last thing you probably feel.
Holy shit, that's like the caricature of unemployed. Anyways, Asmongold tried to message the FBI, but their DMs were closed, so he just started tweeting at them. Basically, here we have the FBI director, and he says, we're aware of and fully investigating a targeted terror attack in Colorado. Our agents and local law enforcement are on the scene already, and we'll share updates as more information becomes available. At FBI, bro's targeting it. Bro's like adding his own agency, dog. Ain't no way.
For God's sake.
Y'all really need to get on.
Fair's Lena, fair.
Some of these people online, they promote this shit, and there's nothing ever happens. More online censorship. This isn't, guys. This is not more online censorship.
Okay, who in fucking Asmon's chat just said more online censorship? Seriously, what fucking brain trust in Asmon's chat actually said that? Do we actually see this? Hang on. Do we actually see his chat actually say that? Hang on. Wait. I want to know where in his chat, who in his chat said more online censorship. Because that is fucking stupid as fuck. To try and say that this is like equating to demanding more online censorship is absolutely fucking brain dead. I don't think we're gonna see it. I don't think we're gonna see it. I really don't.
Nothing ever happens. More online censorship.
Hang on. It would have been right there. Okay, it doesn't actually show it in his chat. It doesn't show in chat. But some brain trust said more online censorship. Dude, it's not censorship if you're stopping people from promoting terrorism. That's not censorship, that you're stopping people from promoting terrorism and genocide. You ass fuck.
More online censorship? This isn't, guys, this is not more online censorship. It was never acceptable to make calls for violence and to promote terror organizations.
Yes.
This is not, guys, this is not censorship. This is the law. I don't want any new rules. All I want is the existing rules to be applied fairly to the people that are obviously breaking them.
Bro,
yes.
This isn't censorship. Was that like a Hasan chatter just coming into Asmongold's chat there? Because what kind of idiot actually thinks that following the law and applying the rules fairly is censorship? You're literally not allowed to make calls for violence. That is actually not allowed. That is the exception to the free speech rule.
It's in
because,
fucking
you know,
TOS.
if you're threatening violence or threatening that you're actually going to do something, it can result in actual violence, and that needs to be stopped, right? Also, you're not allowed to push terrorist propaganda. That is literally against the law because that is dangerous for the citizens.
And again, Twitch tried to get around this because, I'm going to keep saying this, because Tectone did not say this on Unsub. When Tectone went on Unsub, he did not say this. He talked about how, you know, Hasan caught the latest ban for reading that terrorist manifesto on stream. In Twitch's own literature that they sent as a reasoning for why it caught the ban, Twitch themselves said the ban was for reading the manifesto and falsely saying that he condemned it, which he did not. Hasan did not condemn the manifesto, but in that, and I went through this on screen when it happened. In addition to catching a ban for that, they also lumped into that when he showed the terrorist recruitment video. They lumped that offense in with his most recent ban that he only got banned for 24 hours. They lumped in his showing a terrorist recruitment video on stream as a part of that most recent 24-hour ban. Because that way Twitch can say, look, we punished him for it. Aren't we wonderful people? See, we're doing the right thing. We punished him for that for 24 hours for showing terrorist recruitment videos. I'm going to keep bringing it up because it needs to be brought up. The hypocrisy of Twitch on this needs to continually be brought up until they actually do the right thing and just ban him off the platform entirely. Hasan has done 50,000 things to cause him to get banned from the entire platform. People have done far less than anything he has done and have been nuked off the entire platform, never to return. And yeah, introvert, I know, this was like last week I talked about this. I said exactly that. They banned him on his day off, so he did his day during the time. But that's the key, that's the thing here. People have been removed from Twitch forcibly. They've been permabanned from Twitch for doing 1,000 times less than what Hasan has done. Oh yeah, Johnny the Somali was banned, and he wasn't promoting terrorism. But they let him stay around. He should have been kicked off this platform a very long time ago. A very fucking long time ago.
I don't know why Hasan hasn't been prosecuted yet. Probably they're busy with some other shit. I don't know. I mean, he did get questioned, apparently. I feel like if you're supporting terrorist organizations that are designated as an enemy but by America... That
Will Falcon? I don't fucking care. I do not fucking care. I don't care that he's a Nepo baby. I don't give a flying fuck that he has a political family. I don't fucking care. They can take their political family's bloodline and shove it straight up their ass. It does not fucking matter. When you advocate for genocide, your family connections mean precisely fuck all. They mean nothing. And it speaks to the character of the people running Twitch that they just let this continue. It screams about their character that they let him continue with this shit.
Supporting terrorist organizations that are designated as an enemy but by America. That means you are an enemy of the country, no? That is literally what it means. And I'm just saying, there's plenty of other countries outside America where if you try to do this shit, you would be deported. You would be jailed. You're not allowed to say this type of shit. Now, Asmund talks about the role platforms play in moderating this type of extremist language.
I think Reddit and Twitter are probably the two worst places for this type of radicalism. The FBI needs to be, and TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's another one too. You're right. Twitch. I mean, Twitch is really just pretty much. I mean, it's centered entirely around Hasan, right? I mean, like that's. Let's be honest, right? I do think that the FBI needs to look into a lot of these people that are advocating for violence and pushing for violence, because I think that it's all over these platforms. It's not like it's something that's like just stated offhandedly or whatever. It's everywhere. And I'm not talking about somebody who's like saying, I hate Israel, f Israel. I'm saying somebody who's saying we should burn Israelis, you know, Israelis deserve to suffer for this. You know, like if you punch somebody like this or you hurt them, it's okay. Like there are so many overt calls for violence that are happening.
Wait, the platforms? The the social media platforms. If someone basically makes a genocidal statement, like what Asman was just saying, where, you know, like on Twitter, if someone posts something on Twitter saying all people of this race, gender, ethnicity, what have you, should be unalived, you graphically describe how their lives should be ended, insta-ban. Right then and there. The second that happens, off the platform, you don't get to come back. Social media is a privilege. It is not a right. So if you want to advocate for the genocide of people, you don't need to be on that platform anymore. We need to start calling out all the social media platforms that do that allow this kind of rhetoric on where calls for violence are allowed to take place. Because this isn't about freedom of speech. Okay? Calling for violence is not freedom of speech. You're not protected by that. Okay? And a social media platform is not a right. It is a privilege. So until social media platforms start actually following their own goddamn TOS, because every single fucking social media platform has baked into their TOS, without fail, every fucking single one of them has baked into their TOS, do not advocate or call for violence on other people. Every fucking single one of them. So we're not asking for special treatment here. It is literally in their TOS. If someone is legitimately calling for violence against another person or a group of people, or they're flat out talking genocide, social media companies, it's already in your fucking TOS that you can't do this. Enforce your goddamn TOS fairly. Start doing your motherfucking jobs for once in your fucking lives. Because the fact that you're not is resulting in people fucking dying. Because these social media platforms refuse to do their fucking jobs and follow their own fucking TOSs, people are dying because of it. Fucking seriously.
Happening on social media right now that I don't even think that we need to get into the gray areas, because there are so many black and white examples right now. And nothing is happening to these people, and there's no consequences for it. The websites aren't moderating it, and they're just letting these people run wild. I mean, really, like, whenever you see Hasan reading the Israeli Shooters Manifesto, and the chat, his sub-only chat in emote-only mode is spamming his emote for being subscribed to him, and it's a heart emote. And as far as I know, these people probably never got banned. There's nothing that ever... I don't know, like, do they still have their account?
No, actually, they have their account, and they get invited to the next Diddy party with Hasan. In fact, if you're a girl and you want to get in bed with Hasan, just tell him that you love terrorists. Just tell him that you're really anti-Semitic. That's like Viagra for him. But anyways, I completely agree. These people are psychos. If you're tweeting you want to literally murder people, then yeah, I don't think it's too crazy that the FBI show up at your house or at least ask you a few questions. Somebody needs to be tailing you and watching you so you don't go and pull some shit like this shirtless guy did or whatever. And you might think I'm extreme for this, but I think Hasan deserves a visit too, okay? I feel like he is way too comfortable skirting the line with the shit, okay? He is not following the law, alright? Let's just say that. Then Asman talks about if people like Hasan deserve consequences too.
Do you think there should be consequences for leftist influencers fueling this extremism? I think that if you are promoting and providing a platform for this type of extremism, then yeah, I do think so. I don't think that being anti-Israel is obviously, right? Like, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Israel. I'm just an even smaller fan of burning people alive that support Israel.
Yeah, I'm not actually a fan of burning people alive either, believe it or not. Also, this emote is hilarious. This is how to free Palestine. Peaceful Molotovs.
Oh my god.
Dude, that is actually exactly what Hasan would say, unironically. Idubs would probably say those
Probably.
were empathetic Molotovs. Also, there is no way they can still claim they're the good guys. We're burning people alive with Molotovs. Look at us, guys. We're so cool. These people are...
Leo, same. And that is the crazy thing, is I would wager the vast majority of people in the West that are reeing and screaming and now unaliving people in the name of Palestine don't actually fucking care. If they do, they've drunk the Kool-Aid so hard from these very skewed individuals who are promoting propaganda. Like, so many people that jump on either side of this in the West have no connection to it, and it's literally just a bandwagon for them to jump into. Because, again, this is the whole thing of people that don't feel like they have meaning in their lives. It's the same scenario as people who are jumping on the DEI wagon. They feel like they have no meaning in their lives, and so they jump on this activism as a way to try and find fulfillment in their lives, and they're part of a unified group, and so they feel like they belong to something. And they don't actually care about the thing that they're activizing for or that they're promoting. They don't actually care. They just want to be a part. They want to feel like they actually matter. And so the vast majority of people that are doing this white knighting or even further and going into flat out activism or going into fucking terrorism don't actually believe what they're doing. They're just looking to fill that hole in their heart because they feel like their life is meaningless. And they feel like, I want to actually I want to actually do something. And this is the end result. You have them jumping on every fucking activist bandwagon that they can think of because they can be a part of a group and they can actually get affirmation from the people within this bandwagon saying, you're doing the right thing. We're proud of you. We're going to stand by you. Join us, brother. Join us, sister. And it's a means to try and fill that hole in their hearts. The problem is it doesn't actually work. Because when you jump on extreme activism like this, you're only making yourself sicker. When you jump onto a bandwagon that is perpetuated by hate and hateful rhetoric, you only make yourself feel sicker and sicker. You don't feel better. It's only when you stop and cut all this shit off that you actually start to feel better. That's what it's going to take. Get yourself away from this. Get involved in a community that is about love and caring and not about trying to hurt people. That is when you're going to find meaning. That is the community that I am trying to foster. I want people to be like, here we go. Here's my bandwagon. Come join my bandwagon because, yes, we're going to rage about stuff, but we're all about having fun, enjoying one another's company, laughing with one another, and supporting one another. That's where you're going to find meaning. That's where you'll find a place that you can actually feel good about yourself. And two, you can have all the hugs you want. I will give you all the hugs you could ever want. And yes, we have cookies. Really good ones. The Nutella ones. They're yummy. And until these people that have jumped on these activist bandwagons that are continuing to make them sicker and sicker and sicker, until someone can pull them away from that and actually guide them towards a place of love and kindness, it's only going to get worse. And that's why we need more love and kindness in this world. There is not enough of it. Because kindness and love doesn't get ratings. Kindness and love are the quiet, soft gentle voices. And people don't listen to the quiet, soft, and gentle voices. They listen to the loud, screaming ones because they're somewhat, because it activates your neurons in a more severe way, and so you pay attention to it. We need to make the quiet, gentle voices loud. That's really one of the only solutions to this. Forget all the activism shit. Just bring back fucking kindness. Bring back love. Bring back compassion. If you can do that, all of this, for the most part, a lot of this just goes away. And people will be happier. They really will.
Or like, we're anti-Israel, we're so awesome. Like, yeah, you can be anti-Israel without literally killing people. At that point, you're way worse than anyone you're trying to criticize. Like, nobody's stopping you from having all sorts of different opinions. Obviously, everyone is very, emotional over this whole conflict, and you're free to, support any side you think you see as fit and all that. Maybe you have certain religious beliefs, maybe you have family members on one side. Obviously, you can be swayed any way or the other. But the second it gets violent and you're actually inflicting harm upon civilians, then you're classified as a terrorist and nobody has any sympathy for you anymore. And yeah, people like Hasan who radicalize people need to be stopped because he is like the starting seed which leads into all this bullshit. Anyways, let's move on to Wade Plemons, the boxing commentator. You might remember him from the KSI
Here we
side.
go. Here we go. So now we can get into something much more basic and much more. Now we have something we can laugh at. We can laugh at iDubbbz completely fucking up Creator Clash. So onto a lighter topic.
When KSI was just melting down over the slightest criticism from him, and yeah, he's like a pretty nice guy, and he's talking about iDubbbz here. Former Creator Clash commentator Wade says he worked for free thinking it was a charity event.
Well, it's a charity event. Stop telling people that, because it's not what it is. That was the whole issue with the lack of communication behind number 1 and 2. That it's a charity event, charity event, charity event. It's not a charity event. It's a boxing event that you are perpendicularly associating with a separate charity that has nothing to do with people buying the boxing event. I was a part of the event and didn't know any of this. I didn't know where money is going, outside of the fact that I was offered and said, no, I'm all good on that. I want to be there to support, and because they gave me an opportunity. A friend made a video accusing H3, the guy we watched yesterday, of abusing his kids. What the are we talking about? And then CPS came to his house, also collaborated with very far left content creators in his video about Ethan, which made many of the fighters on the card feel like participating in the event was an endorsement of those extreme beliefs, supporting Hamas, saying America deserved 9/11. What the
dude?
That is the appropriate response. After reading that, the appropriate response is, what the fuck? Hey, correct response right there.
Like how when regular people learn about the situation, they're just like, what the heck is this? Like that was pretty much all of our reactions as well to Hasan and friends and the whole content cop. But anyways, he seems a little confused about the situation. So another open invitation to Wade or anybody else, just watch the saga start to finish. If you're curious, you can catch up with all the misdeeds of all these absolute freaks, documented by myself, rated 4.99999 stars by Gordon Ramsay himself, the connoisseur of slop. Now let's move on to Ludwig. Basically, a couple videos ago, I criticized Ludwig for defending iDubbbz taking 34% from a charity. I thought it was pretty.
Wait. For the 34% profit share originally allocated to Ian and Anissa is also being redistributed. Wow. So the charity boxing event, 34% of the profits from Creator Clash 3 was going right in Ian and Anissa's pocket. Right. Charity. These cats, they need to just cancel this. Seriously, at this point, cancel Creator Clash, because this is catching so much attention. Even moving it to, where were they moving it to? They moved it to California? Even moving it to California is not going to save it. No way. This has gotten so much attention. Nobody is going to buy tickets to the Creator Clash when it's in California. Absolutely no one. Because just because Ian and Anise are gone doesn't mean that they're not still there in some way, shape, or form. Nobody's going to trust them at all. No, very few people are going to want to box in it. And they need to just cancel it. This thing is going to crash and burn so fucking hard. Yeah, it's basically like they'll give like 20% of the profits to the charity. That's it. My guess is like the charity would have gotten like 20% of their take.
Pretty scummy, and essentially snaking a charity event and just not disclosing it to anybody because people thought their ticket money was going to charity when it was not, and Ludwig was defending that. But anyways, one of you guys messaged me on Instagram, told me that he responded to my video, or at least dodged any response to my video.
More Pegasus is chatting shit, bro. Check his VOD. That's the Mr. Beast guy, yeah?
The Mr. Beast guy? Okay, that's it. Now we have beef. Now I'm making 16 videos on Ludwig. It's over. It's done. Finally over. Finally finished. He's cooked. I will not tolerate the slander, even if it's completely true. The fact is that is yesterday's news.
God, imagine being erroneously labeled as the Mr. Beast guy for someone that does commentary videos. I'm not sure if that should be considered a compliment or an insult.
Now I'm referred to as the Hasan guy, so please refer to me by that name, but he's never mentioning Hasan, let's be honest.
That's the Mr. Beast guy, yeah? Dude, I'm so good. I actually I'm zero offended at all that he made a video. I hope the video does great and he makes hella bread off of it. But there's a reason I don't do mogul mails, man. I'm good off that crowd because they don't actually care at all about anything. They don't give a shit. They just like chat and shit.
Okay, first off, kind of true. I usually don't care about pointless drama and I just move on with my day. I just talk about things for fun usually, and I like making fun of idiots.
Good night, Nero.
But recently with this whole Hasan drama, I'm not too sure because this guy is doing like actual real life damage, and I do feel strongly about it, right? I do care at least a little that this guy is causing legitimate harm. He's radicalizing people, promoting terrorists so much, and he's just like a vile person. And I feel like the climate is so extreme now that people are feeling emboldened to go and commit terrorist attacks, and this guy's out here like playing.
There it is. That's exactly it. Pegasus just nailed it right on the head there. He should have expounded upon that, because therein lies the thing: is when people like Hasan and those in his circle can so blatantly advocate for terrorism and genocide on a major platform and reach thousands of people and suffer no repercussions from it, it emboldens the quote-unquote nobodies to go, well, if these guys can do it and it's basically they're not going to suffer any consequences, then I can do it too. Then that means I can take action and I will be in the right and I won't suffer consequences. Ignoring the fact whether they are actually committing blatantly criminal acts that, eliminate people's lives, ignoring that fact of it, they're so fucking brain rotted seeing him just saying whatever and doing whatever the fuck he wants and getting no consequences for it. They go, hey, I'm on that side. I can do it too. And we see the end result of it. Water Gaming, hi, welcome. Don't worry, we're going to be doing something fun after this. It's not all rage.
Defense for a shooter. I mean, I'm very passionate about that type of stuff, right? I feel like it would be kind of hard to fake that, like being passionate and making 30 videos daily. Obviously, I do care about these things a lot. And I actually do feel a good sense of purpose, like not just entertaining people, but the fact that I'm doing a good thing by exposing these clowns and preventing other people from getting brainwashed into his cult. Because when they watch one of my videos, they can see how much of a complete scumbag, hypocrite piece of shit, lying piece of shit he is, slanderous piece of shit. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, the thing is, even if one of his cult members watches one of my videos and they finally see the light and become a normal person after that, that's a very positive.
Yeah, Water Gaming, I'm looking at doing it too. I talked about that at the beginning of stream. I'm looking that route also. And I'd say a lot of people on Twitch are all starting to seriously look at multi-streaming. A lot of them are.
And they finally see the light and become a normal person after that. That's a very positive impact in the world, and I'm very proud of that.
I don't mind saying your full
I was
name.
pretty
It's
invested
fine.
in iDubbbz as well. He used to do the content cops, this whole drama with Ethan. He's definitely part of the whole Hasan story. That's why I talked about him as well. And of course, Ludwig isn't nearly as bad. He isn't that bad at all. I've said this. His worst crime is just being spineless, right? And bending over backwards for Hasan, which is funny. But I'm not going to compare him to someone like iDubbbz or Denims or Frogan or any of these actual vile pieces of shit, right? And I do appreciate that Ludwig said, you know, he doesn't mind the videos. You know, he knows the game. He knows the grind. It's just part of YouTube. And yeah, I guess I did need a topic for that day, but I was passionate about it, all right?
The creator just like has to make he makes a video what? Fucking every day or some shit? So it's like, what is the headline? What can I make a video about for 20 minutes to fucking make 5K? 3K, whatever it is.
No way Ludwig is talking about money. Bro, you're worth like $20 million. Calm down.
God.
Also, bro just leaked his own income, okay? I'm not earning 5K a day. What are you, smoking crack? What maths did he actually do there? 200K views equals $5,000? $25 CPM. Bro, not even finance channels get that shit. But yeah, 5K a day would mean 5 times 30, which is 150K a month, times 12, that's 1.8 million. So like nearly $2 million a year. And I'm 7 years on YouTube. That would make me worth $14 million. Bro, I want whatever drugs he's on.
Pegasus.
Spoilers, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not that rich. But obviously, I'm not complaining. I got the best job in the world. Obviously, every kid's dream. And I'm very well off, as I've said multiple times before. Retired, chilling, never have to work again. Thanks to you guys. I choose to work every day, though, because it's still fun. And what the hell would I do? Play video games all day? Go back to League of Legends? Hell no, bro.
And
The
God, no,
only
don't do
reason
that.
I like being well off is that I can buy the extra expensive $6 strawberries at the store without feeling guilty about it. Dude, they're so sweet and juicy. I can't buy the shitty cheap strawberries.
Okay, okay, Pegasus, why do I feel like you're calling me out right now? I'm feeling called out by Pegasus right now because this is how I also feel too. It's the best job I've ever had, and it's allowed me to actually like live modestly, but still actually be able to like, okay, I want to get the little expensive snack, and I don't have to feel bad about it.
Strawberries, bro, I can't do it. But anyways, I'm so tired of these people acting like, oh, does he make like a video every day or something? Don't act like you don't watch the saga. Everybody is a fan, okay? Like I click on a random video in the middle of nowhere, I'm being randomly mentioned. Jump scare. So I have absolutely no doubt everybody is watching the greatest series on planet Earth. And Ludwig is secretly happy that I'm calling out that piece of shit Hasan, okay? Because he doesn't have the guts to, all right? So don't worry, bro. I'll do your job. I'll do your job. Mr. Journalist degree. Also, I'm memeing, guys. Come on.
And then the viewers doesn't really care. Like for the most part, drama frogs are about as passionate for a subject as the amount of time they spend watching it. And then the moment they stop watching, they couldn't care less.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Ludwig. I talk about this. How often do I talk about this shit? I talk about this shit all the fucking time. Fuck you for trying to say that bullshit. Okay? This is clear, Victor. This is clear. He's saying this because he's like, ha ha ha, I'm a big streamer. I know everything. Fuck you, Ludwig. This affects a lot of people, and I take it seriously. And I continue to think about it. I have to force myself not to think about it at times so I don't drive myself fucking crazy or keep myself in a state of permanent rage mode. So go fuck yourself with that bullshit.
Because why the fuck would you care? You got a whole life to lead. It's just some like 20-minute thing to be a little haughty about and then be like, all right. I'm going to go watch the Knicks play. So like, why am I going to be offended? I hope the video bangs. I'll be flattered if it does.
Okay, that's very sweet. Honestly, Ludwig is pretty chill and a generally likable guy whenever he's not doing some cringe pandering bullshit, right? So I think we'd get along great. You know, I think he's pretty cool. He's horrible at League of Legends though. Platinum, keeps saying he's platinum. He's so dog shit, bro. I basically just said my opinion because he had a dumb take about charity. And personally, I think charity should be pretty selfless and not a scummy like business thing where you're trying to make more money. I appreciate that he didn't actually take it too harshly. But anyways, click this video or a mentally ill Hasan fan shows up at your door at 3 a.m. Alrighty, thanks for watching.
God. Okay, that was kind of exhausting. That was slightly exhausting, chat. I got heated. I knew I was going to though. I knew that I was gonna get heated. I was prepared for it. I was. And that's why I said we're gonna use it, we're gonna do something fun afterwards. But this was still important. This was something that was still important, still needed to be talked about. And that's why I wanted to react to it. Yes, Jurahan, yes, thank you.